Hey guys, it's James from Meatster, and I thought I'd try something a little bit different today and get in on this vlogging act. I'm actually just getting ready for the gym. It's mid-morning. I've got this big gimbal thing in front of me trying to hold the camera steady, so it's a bit of a warm-up before I go. But essentially, what I wanted to talk about today was, how do I get a nutritious but tasty meal after my workout on a busy day? In order to do that, I thought I'm gonna give it a go with sous-vide chicken. Now, chicken is something, I eat a couple of times a week after my workout. It's nutritious, it's not too bad for you. I think I'm going a bit blue here on the screen. And, but I normally get it in the pan and then go off and do some emails and things like that. So, who can be bothered? Just put this down there for a sec. Who can be bothered to sort out, like a gourmet lunch? Well, I don't have time a lot of the time. I'm preparing for a video. I've got 2 other businesses that I run, and I like to go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week. Otherwise, I couldn't do these videos, right? It may not look like I go to the gym, but I'm sort of holding an even keel. Let's just move this back a bit. Hopefully, if these vlogs are okay, I'll do a few more and I'll get a bit more practice in. So I set up the sous vide machine over there, and I'm gonna do a little test today where I've got 1 chicken breast that will go in the sous vide for a couple of hours because it's 25 to 11. I'll have lunch at about 12:30, 1 o'clock probably. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna recreate that normal scenario where I just put it in the pan with some salt and a couple of other seasonings. And then I'm gonna also do it from the sous vide and see if it works out better. I'm really hoping it's a slightly more inspiring texture, taste experience, but who knows? Now, I'm gonna cook the sous vide here. I'll just show you if I can get it to go in the right place. There we go. So I'm gonna do 141 Fahrenheit, which is just over 60 degrees Celsius. Now, normally I'd want to cook chicken, pork, those sorts of things to about 65 degrees, but I've been told that if you do over an hour and a half at 60 Celsius, 140 Fahrenheit, you'll be okay. And on top of that, of course, when it comes out of the sous vide, I'm gonna put it in the pan and give it a quick flash fry to get some taste, to get a mild reaction on the outside. I know it's only lunch and it's only lunch by myself. I'm not that bothered about it, but it would be nice to have something nice to eat for lunch. Before I go off to the gym, I'm just gonna have a quick coffee. I need another hit. I've been up since about 6:30, got most of the boring admin out for the day, and that's one of the cats looking for some food. All right, let's go ahead and make a nice cup of coffee. This grinder container is quite annoying. It's a weird shape, and so things just fall out, unfortunately. But the grinder itself was good value. That's the Wilfer Spart. Wilfer Spart. Anyway, it's a good little cheapish grinder just for doing AeroPress and pour over coffees and things like that, which I do enjoy. No need. Right, I'll just give it a bloom for about 30 seconds. Let that sit for a minute or so, and then we'll be good to go. When it comes to AeroPress, you have to do this little acrobatic flippy over move. I haven't had it go wrong yet in the last few months when I've been doing AeroPress, but it's always the first time. You want to take about 40 seconds just to plunge this down. If you've never used AeroPress before, but you really like coffee, I've got an espresso machine, but I don't fancy espresso every day. It's pretty intense, and it takes a bit of time to dial that in properly, whereas these pouring over and filter methods just seem to be a bit more forgiving, and they're a completely different flavor. Like, you get a lot more delicate, sort of high-toned flavor profiles from them. And I just like AeroPress at the moment. It's good fun. I used to do Chemex a lot. I go back and forth between the different ways. I have a couple of coffees a day, so it's fun to just have this 5 minutes like a ritual. So it'd be cool if I can do these vlogs maybe once a week. It takes a long time to set up for the steak videos that I do and the bigger videos like that. So I'd like to put more content out there, and not all of it about steak. Obviously, there's only so much steak I can eat in a week. But I've got other ideas when it comes to different foods and things like that. you know, it'd be just fun to chat with you guys more often. We can come up with more ideas for things. You can put down in the comments any ideas you think I could use for vlogs, for, you know, different ways to cook chicken and healthy dishes, you know, with salmon and tuna and other fish, seafood, any vegetarian dishes. I actually used to be a vegetarian for about 10 years, so I'm not averse to it. And I just enjoy talking to the camera every now and again. It's quite therapeutic. So now I've got my coffee. I bought these beans from a roaster up in Edinburgh, where I was a few weeks ago, and artisan roast. That's the wrong way. There you go. I've actually been really impressed with them. They seem to have roasted all the different coffees I bought perfectly. No overly roasted flavors, lots of nuance and flavor and things like that. So I'm quite excited about having found that. It's always good to find a new roaster that works for you, that does things that you enjoy. And it's a shame they were doing that. I bought a bag of a Brazilian bean, which I've fallen in love with. And of course, that's the one they've stopped doing at the moment, obviously run out of stocks of it. And they've got all the other ones that, you know, are good, but they're not my favorite. So anyway, off to the gym. And of course, just before I go to the gym now, I'm going to put this chicken into the sous vide. It's not had any seasoning or anything yet. I'm just gonna let it cook. It's 5 to 11. Let's see if I can get this done before 1 o'clock. In we go. I shall leave you for an hour or two. All right guys, I'm just back from the gym and I'm actually pretty hungry. I didn't really eat much for breakfast. So the chicken has been exactly 2 hours now in the sous vide machine. I'm just gonna prep the one that's not sous vide, but basically I'm just gonna butterfly chicken breast because that's how I normally do it. Give it a little bit of salt, maybe some lemon zest and some thyme. I'll do the same with the sous vide one, except I'm not going to butterfly it because the whole purpose of this is to find out if I can make life easier for myself. If I can chuck the chicken breast in the bag, put it in the water, go out, come back, take it out, put it on the pan and enjoy it. I've just come up with a little idea that is not part of the make it easy message I'm trying to come up with for this video. But essentially, I've had a little idea to just jazz things up and test things out a little bit more. When I did a video about Kobe and Wagyu the other day, I got some of this Wagyu, well actually Kobe pancetta, I believe. No, I think it's just Wagyu pancetta, excuse me. So basically it's air-dried, cured, thinly sliced Wagyu beef that you can use like a bacon, a pancetta. So what I'm gonna do is when I get the sous vide chicken out, I'm gonna cut half of it, but I'm just gonna cook as I said I would, just plain in the pan, bit of salt, pepper, etc. The other half I'm gonna wrap in this because actually, if you think about it, if you sous vide the chicken already and then wrap it in bacon or whatever you wanna wrap it in, Parma ham, Serrano ham, Iberico ham, you don't have to cook it for too long on the outside and you know it's already gonna be cooked on the inside, so you should have a nice crispy outside and a lovely soft tender interior, which sometimes once it's already got the bacon wrapped, it's then difficult to tell how long to cook it for. So let's see how that goes. The other thing I'm gonna do for the sake of science, let's say, is I'm gonna taste the sous vide chicken as it is, straight out of the bag, which you know, I'm not a huge chicken fan when it comes to just chicken breast. You know, I do like roast chicken, chicken curry, chicken thighs, peri-peri chicken, plain chicken. We'll find out in a second exactly how that goes. So I just whipped my hand into the very hot water, forgetting that it was very hot. And what came out was this lovely looking piece of chicken. This jellyish looking piece of chicken, as you can see, really needs some tender loving care. It doesn't smell great. As I said, I'm going to taste a tiny bit. For your viewing pleasure. It's chicken, it's fine. I'm surprised the texture is that cooked. Well, as I said, I'm cutting it in half. It's not quite what I expected in terms of the interior texture. If you can see this here, there you go. It looks quite cooked, although it does look moist. So perhaps it's still a few degrees too warm, but you can't really go below 60. So I've done the best that I can. Now, I'm going to open up this packet. And I've never tasted any of this before, so I'm intrigued to taste that as well. Let's give this a smell. Oh, that smells great actually. A sort of cured meat smell, maybe a bit like a jerky or a biltong. I'm sure it won't be quite dry like that, but okay. That you can see this. That looks delicious actually. It smells really nice. It smells like it's had herbs and pepper on it. So maybe, oh, that smells great actually. So let's just see what the texture's like. Pull that apart. Oh wow. I'm not putting any pressure on that to pull it apart. Okay. So it's definitely a stronger flavour than ham would be, obviously being that it's beef. And it's, you know, got a decent amount of salt and something else. Pepper. It feels like some sort of herb, like oregano or thyme has been on it. That is stunning. Well, this is going to be delicious, I think. So I'm just going to take a few pieces and cover the chicken in that. You might think it's a waste, but actually, I'm thinking this could be a decent dish for, you know, Saturday evening dinner. I'll show you what I've done in a second. It's not the best job because these pieces are quite small. You know, they're cut into sort of small pieces. Now, of course, I can't find the seasoning that I wanted, so I'm just going to make up a little bit of seasoning myself. I've got my Maldon sea salt, which is by far my favourite salt. I'm just going to put a nice sprinkle on the chicken. I'm going to do the same to both the raw chicken and the half of chicken that has no pancetta on it. And I've got, this is all a bit rough and ready today because it's supposed to be something that I can do quickly, you know? Just a small amount of oregano. I don't want it to burn in there. And then I'm putting some garlic granules. You can't go too wrong with any sort of garlic, can you? Just turn that over. And I'm just going to do the same to this piece here. It's very jelly-like, which is interesting. Now, the whole idea is to make it as easy for myself as possible, so I'm not using any thermometers. I'm being a bit rough and ready with the chicken. I don't mind if it's a little bit overcooked. As I've been saying all along, this is just my lunch, you know. If I can sous vide it and then it only takes me a couple of minutes to give it a bit of colour and flavour on the outside, that would be great because then I could enjoy it as well as it being quite an efficient way. The chicken cooked from scratch is nearly done now, so putting a tiny bit of olive oil on this piece here, and this is now going to go on just for a minute or two. So the one that cooked from scratch, because I butterflied it, it's only taken sort of 5 or 6 minutes to be almost cooked in the middle, and that's just another great way of saving time at lunchtime. If you haven't got a sous vide machine, I definitely recommend butterflying your chicken. I'm going to put the one with the pancetta on as well now. I want you to see my handiwork because it's rubbish. And it's the best that I could do on short notice. That's the one with the sous vide. This was the one cooked from fresh. And the one with the Wagyu pancetta on it. Right, let's give it a taste. Alright guys, this is hardly the sort of complex taste test that I normally do with the steaks, but I thought it was pretty cool to find out if sous vide chicken for lunch, to save time, is really worth it. Normally I'd have a plate of veg, but instead I've got some mayonnaise and some chili sauce that I really like, which is the Crystal hot sauce. It's quite a vinegary one, it's not very hot, it's good for during the daytime. Starving, let's go for it. Okay, I've got the normal chicken. I've cooked it the way I normally would for lunch, which is just bung it on the pan, see what happens, not that bothered. It makes a difference getting really good quality chicken. This is all free range. It's not organic. Gee, that's a taste test I want to do, organic versus free range chicken. Look, this is what I was after. Let's find out, can you get enough flavour on the outside to make that anemic, weird flavour of basically boiling the bag chicken go away? Well look, the texture is really good because it's cooked the right way. Oh, I like that. It's like juicy, savoury, really clean, you know, chicken flavour. It's not like a overcooked chicken, there's no toughness. Well, I'm gonna say it's not, you know, it's not the biggest revelation you're ever gonna have eating sous vide chicken breast. Because, you know, chicken breast is chicken breast. But having said that, you can see just the way I've cooked this, because it's been on there a couple of minutes too long. Look, that's my whole point. I'm not trying to show anyone how to cook a chicken breast. I'm trying to show you how during the day when you're busy and you want a hot meal and you've stuck some chicken on there and you've gone off to do something and it's overcooked, you didn't need to. Totally, look, I mean, this chicken's just falling apart, you know? Right, let's get onto that pancetta one in a second. Actually, this is tasty. You'll have never had a chicken breast that soft, because I don't think it's even possible just cooking it conventionally. Now, this pancetta, it actually looks really nice. It's stuck on there properly. Obviously, if I was doing it for a dinner party, I'd have paid a lot more attention to how I was doing it. The thing is, I haven't seasoned this chicken at all, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Let's just have some of the chicken and some of the bacon, the beef bacon, Wagyu pancetta. Well, that's very nice. Very, very nice. If you wanted to make it perfect, take the chicken out of the sous vide, give it a tiny bit of salt and pepper, whatever seasoning you like. Stick it on that pan, griddle, whatever you're gonna use for like 30 seconds aside. Just let it caramelize a tiny bit. Get it off, have the bacon already laid out, put it on there and just wrap it round and quickly get it back on again. You'll get the best of all worlds if you do that. It's delicious as it is, but you could get even more flavor, better texture. Oh, that's yummy. Of course it's yummy. It's Wagyu bacon, but like any bacon, Parma ham, Serrano ham, whatever you've got will be delicious. Just to finish for today, it's my first sort of vlog on this channel. Let me know if this is a format you're interested in. It's rougher and readier. I can do them more often. I can do things more informally and just try them out. You know, we can just have little ideas. It doesn't have to be a whole big video. Let's see how this one edits down. But if you like this sort of thing, you might like our steak videos if you haven't seen them already. So go and find one of those. Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like. Comment down below. What would you like to see me having for lunch next time? I've got an idea actually that I might do as soon as possible after this one, maybe tomorrow. Right guys, have a good day. See you next time.